Hi, my name's Michael. Today I want to quickly talk about Fever at Dawn by Péter Gárdos. So this is a Hungarian author and filmmaker who wrote a fictionalized account of how his parents got together based on the letters he found from their correspondence after World War II. And this was written in Hungary and translated by Elizabeth Szasz. Péter Gárdos is a filmmaker, and that quality really comes out in the book. What I really noticed and was really drawn to was the way he was able to paint a picture and describe things in a way that you could really see, and there were descriptions of food that would make me hungry. There were images that I could see very vividly written within the book, and I think that was what really made this book so great. This is a story of Mikos, who is in a refugee camp after being in a concentration camp in World War II, and he's in this refugee camp in Sweden, and he's been diagnosed with tuberculosis and told he has 6 months to live. He decides he wants to marry before that, so he writes to every Hungarian woman in refugee camps around Sweden. He begins to correspond with one that he recognizes he has a connection with, and it's a relationship they develop over the course of the time. So we have this really dark time, and they're suffering a lot from being in concentration camps and suffering in the hands of the Nazis. Through it all, they're finding this connection and they're finding love and they're developing this relationship, and it's quite beautiful how we have the dark history and something beautiful arising from it. And there's a few stories like this, but this one feels very unique, and even though it seems a bit cliche at times, it's just so beautiful and so sweet and touching that you can't help but to fly through it. Because Péter Gárdos is a filmmaker, and he did make this into a film last year, his style seems very picturesque, and he really paints this beautiful picture that really makes the story. There are parts that you feel like you need more information and you feel like you want to explore it a little more in depth, but the story is based on these letters, so you're only getting the two sides. You're not really seeing much depth in the other characters, and the real focus is on the relationship. I think he did that on purpose because I think he wanted to stay true to the letters, and he didn't want to take it too much of an artistic license on what actually happened with this story. And at times that can be a bit frustrating, at times that can be annoying, and you really want to learn about other characters, but I think in the end, you accept it because you understand that this is the story he's telling and this is the information he has. And while this doesn't have any real huge amazing themes, this is a book you can fly through really quickly and quite a lovely story. And if you haven't read anything from a Hungarian author, maybe this is an easy way to dive into some translated fiction, especially some Hungarian fiction. There isn't much more to say about this book, but I did want to record a review on it and just recommend it. I think there'll be some more talk about this book later on this year because I believe it only gets released next month in North America. So I'm expecting maybe some more coverage of the book, and I think it's a wonderful little book to talk about. So that's it for me, and I know that's short, but I just wanted to get my thoughts down on video and talk about this book. If you want to find me elsewhere, all my links to social media are in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching.